Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Fact Check TV. My name is Mama J. Come on in, grab your cup, take the seat, sit on down, and join us for tonight's hot topic. Tonight, we are going to be talking about and honoring the Indigenous women. And right now, I'm going to turn it over to Jasmine and let her go ahead and take a few minutes. Why is everyone laughing? I said that's the way.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Happy Friday. Glad to see that everybody's tuning in. Glad to see that you guys are loving what we're doing and the content. Just want to say thank you to everybody who left comments and supported the page last week. Again, you can catch us here every Friday at 7 p.m. to talk about what's going on in current affairs, Minority Report. Tanya?
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. So, as Mama J stated, we will be talking about things that are happening in the Indigenous community. We have a new guest here tonight. She was on the show before, but she has joined our panel. Say hello, Michelle.
Hi.
More than likely, she'll be joining us. Yes. Scoot over just a little bit.
Michelle, do you want to give everybody just a background on who you are for those that are tuning in for the first time? Give them a little synopsis of who you are and what you've experienced and how you came about being a part of the Ellis Foundation family.
Sure. My name is Michelle McCown Luster. I am sister to Nikki McCown. I was on the show, I think it was a couple weeks ago, telling Nikki's story. Since then, I've joined the team as an advocate, and I am super excited to be here with these lovely ladies.
Yeah.
We're so glad to have her.
So for all of you guys that know, a lot of what we do in the Ellis Foundation, again, we'll always start the show out, of course, educating everybody on what we do, who we are, and any new updates. The Ellis Foundation is a nonprofit organization that looks for missing minority women and children. We also specialize in human trafficking. So if there's anybody who has a loved one and you believe that they're experiencing some type of sex trafficking or human trafficking, you're more than welcome to reach out to our organization. And I will put the number up. For those of you guys, this is our crisis hotline number. You can call 1-800-370-0830 if you're looking for any type of services, again, regarding missing persons or human trafficking, sex trafficking. You can also text that number. That number is available to text 24 hours a day. Somebody from our team will respond. You can also go to the Ellis Foundation. I'm always messing up the point. Down at the bottom of the screen, DocEllisFoundation.com. And there is a Get Help Now button or report a missing person. When you report a missing person, basically what happens is our team will pick that up. We will schedule a meeting with you to discuss the details of the missing person. Maybe about 2 weeks ago, we actually were able to bring on an investigator. So that investigator works closely with us to be able to find out what's going on with your loved one. Before the show is over, of course, we will give a little bit of update on some of the cases that we are working with. So stay tuned for that information. And then we are going to open it back up for Miss Tanya to talk about or bring up, or let's go ahead and get into the tea.
All right.
Real quick.
So
I was just going to say, let's look over to I'm looking to my right, and I like to say Jacky's in the room with us tonight. Jacky! And we have one of our long time followers from back in our Kanika Jenkins day of investigating. Above 7 is here. We love you. We're so glad to have you with us again.
Thank you for coming back.
I also see that we have Jacqueline in the room, Jacqueline Reyes. Again, Jacqueline, we would actually, now that I think about it, maybe we can get you the call-in number. We can discuss a little bit today in regards to your daughter and what's going on with your daughter's case. The Doc Ellis Foundation, for those of you who are not aware, have picked up the Jacky Reyes missing persons case. Again, we will go into a little bit of details in regards to what we're doing and how that works. But yeah, definitely, Jacky, please make sure that you call in by the time we end this show, because we would love to have you tell your story and what's going on with your daughter's situation.
Absolutely. Okay, so to start it off, according to the FBI, 40% of victims of sex trafficking are Native American, yet 10% are less in the community, in the population. Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think about that? There's a lot of Indigenous, Native American, and minorities as a whole that are missing, and a lot of those cases aren't talked about. In fact, very many are talked about.
No. I think that it is heartbreaking, of course. I think that it is close to a situation that we deal with as African Americans. I think that, you know, let's not separate it. If you put that number together, that's a large amount of Black, brown, melanin women that are missing. That's a large amount. And I guess the struggle is understanding why. You know, why right. Are they not getting the attention? Why are we not getting the attention that these cases need? Where are our young women and children going? That should be, you know, even more alarming is that we say it all the time, like on our calls when we're discussing cases with each other, people don't just vanish.
Right.
So, you know, I'm curious to know, you know, and I really want to dive into some Indigenous cases because I'm curious to know for example, African Americans, majority of the time when we report our loved one, our women and children missing, the response is maybe they ran away. What is the response that the Indigenous community is getting when they are reporting their loved ones missing? What is the response that they're getting? And why are the cases not being picked up and handled the way they should be handled? So yeah, that's an issue.
Absolutely. Policymakers consistently ignore the connection between the vulnerabilities between races, as well as, I'm sorry, I need to turn my phone on mute. I'm sorry, guys.
Technical difficulty, Miss Tanya.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Policymakers consistently ignore the connection between vulnerabilities, race, and other factors that could possibly be an issue if you're ignoring all of these cases. Well, not possibly, it actually is an issue.
Problem
to
is they're not ignoring
different races. Like, so they're ignoring the.
I don't think it's ignore. I think it's they don't care. Ignore. Yeah, no. This has been an issue. This has been an issue far beyond the time. So no, I don't think that it's an ignore. It's let's just be truthful. You don't care.
Exactly.
Moment of silence because we don't want to go too
right. It could be, you know, a touchy issue, you know what I mean? For it, you know, like you said, they're not being ignored. It's not being talked about. I can't remember the last time I even turned on the news and saw an Indigenous person, missing person, or even a huge sex trafficking case. And a lot of these sex trafficking cases are Native Americans.
Right.
Well, and I think that's probably why it's so hard for us to have a strong dialect, because it is such a big question mark to what is going on in the communities. You know, in the indigenous communities, it's a question mark. Like, what's going on? What is going on? Where? Like, I don't even have a response because it's such a large amount, and it's very scary. And I definitely want to give respect. I want to give a shout out basically to the organizations that are assisting to bring their loved ones home. I think that it's something that, if we're going to focus on the minority community, and we are focusing and we have a strong dedication to bringing home our African American young girls, then it's imperative that we get informed with what's going on with the indigenous community. I did take some time, of course, and I went through the missing persons database, and I wanted to take some time to show some honor to some of those young ladies that have been reported for the month of October. And again, let's Google, like I said last week, right? Google missing. And you're not going to see any of our girls pop up as a highlight. You're not going to see any of our girls pop up as the importance. Let's not even talk about the fact that Monday is Indigenous Day, and why are they not getting the attention today? Why are they not getting the attention? You know, if this was some other holiday, you know, CNN, and I'm gonna keep beating down CNN, MSNBC, and all those, you know, major news stations, because that's your time to show honor and respect to the issues that we have in our communities. I am so over. Yeah, like, I'm so over hearing about the issues that they consider to be our issues that I'm really like, okay, I'm tired of talking about it. Like, when are we going to talk about the things that matter? When are we going to talk about the missing persons, the indigenous community, the African American girls that just keep vanishing, the human trafficking, the sex trafficking? When are we going to talk about that? And Tanya, now that you bring it up, I don't think that I've ever really heard of a mass operation that has been conducted that consists of any type of human trafficking or sex trafficking with the indigenous community. I don't think that I have, but I do want to take this moment. You guys can continue to talk, but I do want to take this moment to show the young ladies who have been reported missing, the indigenous girls who have been reported missing for the month of October.
Wow.
About your mom and my dad?
Yeah.
Since it started,
So sad.
What?
Isn't it weird? I mean, our families have known each other for years. Our fathers were business partners.
It's strange. I'll admit that. At least it was at first. If you were around more, you'd see it's a good thing.
Carrie's still out on that.
So I see in the chat, Jacky is asking about the number to call in.
Anything interesting?
A little bit when we're done talking about these girls that are missing, we have a call in line, and Jasmine has that number. She's going to post it.
The call-in number is down at the bottom. I do want to remind those that are watching the show, please feel free to call in. Our call-in lines are open if you'd like to jump into this conversation. You have an opinion, maybe you have a case or something that you would like to bring up in regards to missing persons or sex trafficking. Our phone lines are open. Feel free to call in. We would love to hear your opinion or your statement. But yes, Jacky, you can definitely use the number at the bottom of the screen. For those of you guys who are just tuning in, the call-in number is 888-222-6050. That's 888-222-6050.
In the year of 2016 alone, 39.8% of American Indian and Alaskan Native women had experienced violence including 14.4% who had experienced sexual violence, and that does not include the percentage of those two combined of the women that came up dead, murdered. Because I
Wow.
watched the program the other night that on Indigenous women, and it was a beautiful show. And the women were saying that 9 times out of 10, when one of them come up missing, most likely they will, when found, they will be found dead.
Oh,
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
9 times out of 10, when they are found, they are usually found where they have been, and not just dead, where they have been brutally murdered.
wow. And I believe domestic violence runs high, intimate partner violence runs high. We do have somebody calling into the hotline. Give me just a moment.
All right, hotline.
Caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
And may I ask who I'm speaking to? Is this Jacky?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Jacky. How are you?
Hanging in there.
Good. So, for those of you guys who are just tuning in, we do have a caller who called in on the line. Her name is Jacqueline Reyes. Jacqueline Reyes is an individual that we have been working with in regards to her daughter missing. Thank you for calling in, Jacqueline. Do you mind giving us a little brief synopsis of your daughter's case?
Well, it's like, she always kept in contact. I mean, this is really weird. The last contact I had with my daughter was in May, and so when I had talked to her, everything seemed to be okay. And then on June 1st, she vanishes, and now here we are in the month of October with absolutely nothing, no contact, absolutely nothing. And so it's like, it's getting harder each day, and because there's no answers yet. And it's like, it's just, my faith is keeping me going, but everybody needs to keep their face out there, and hopefully we will get answers. Because this is where we're at. We're until we get some answers. None of this adds up. None of this makes sense. None of it.
So just to give you guys a little synopsis on the situation, Jacky Ray. I'm sorry, say it again.
Corbin, is that the name? Somebody's just calling me right now, trying to get through.
Okay, so let me give you guys just a little synopsis on
Corbin with an ID I have coming through.
I don't know, that wouldn't be us.
Okay, so I don't know.
How ironic.
Right.
So let me give you guys a little synopsis on what is going on with Jacqueline's daughter, Jacky's case. Again, like Jacqueline just expressed, her daughter originally resided or was residing at the time. Right before she arrived to Florida, she was residing in Los Angeles, California. She then decided to go to Florida, contacted a family member, and ended up staying with that family member. At one point, there was a, conversation, disagreement. Family have arguments. Jacky walked out of the back door and was never seen again. I'd like for you to, because, we're talking right now about, the Indigenous community and how they're not getting the attention that they deserve, minority communities that are not getting the attention that they deserve. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about your contact and communication with law enforcement in regards to your daughter's case?
It's been very little. I practically, any kind of communication, either through an email or a text message. And I live in Arizona, and here this incident happened in Florida, and it's not where I could travel. I have multiple sclerosis, but it's so frustrating because I feel like I'm just being ignored, and also, there's hardly been any press about it. And it's frustrating that we're going off of one image on July 15th that she's okay. No, she's not okay until we have physical contact.
Right.
We don't know what really is happening to her because none of this adds up. I mean, she knows hardly nobody. This was the biological family that lives in Florida. And she barely knew them. She was getting to know them. But my husband, who passed away in 2020, was her daddy. He has legally adopted her. I'm the biological mom. And then she wanted to know a little bit about the biological father's side. And then he passed away February and March, so she's lost two fathers. But it's just nothing added up. Why Florida? I mean, she was raised and born in Arizona, and then she went to LA because, go venture off, but always kept in contact. I mean, we always knew, we did question her. We never invaded her, but she was always in contact because we're very close. So now here we are now with absolutely nothing. And it's just, it's heart-wrenching because what is happening to my daughter? It's just, I have been fighting tooth and nail, and the only reason it's on you guys was because from a share to another share to another share. And I think, God, I've got you guys on the team, and it was because I have been so helpless with this business. I mean, I don't have money.
Right. So again, this speaks to what happens, and I'm pretty sure, Michelle can also understand, on the side of understanding what it's like having a missing loved one and the lack of support from law enforcement, and that's why we're here as an organization, is because we have seen time and time again where our beautiful girls and children and men are disappearing. They are, vanishing. And what family members are getting is, well, it's a possibility that they'd want to not be found. And then law enforcement is not doing their due diligence to be able to look into these cases. We picked up Jacky Reyes's case last week. I believe we picked it up last week. Since then, we have been able to find out some very important information that we also really do not feel comfortable in sharing the details of it right now, because there are some things that are a little alarming to us. There are interviews that are being done by people that, were not checked out. They were not properly interviewed by law enforcement. There are, there's red flags.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful 29, 30-year-old young lady who is not using her cell phone. She's not using her social media. She's not on her Facebook. She's not siblings and mother and aunties. People don't just vanish without
in her ATM card.
She's not using her bank card. There is not anything that is a sign of life, basically. And that right there should be enough for law enforcement to go, okay, there has to be foul play.
I think one of the questions that we all need to ask, and I hear a lot of conversation on different programs on TV on these topics, but the question I never hear posed to anyone is, why is it that women of color, whether we're indigenous, we're black, we're Mexican, we're Latino, why is it that we are not just as important as any other race of women when it comes
Yeah.
to situations like this? I was just looking at something that said that out of 5,712 cases that were reported on missing indigenous women, the National Missing and Unidentified Person System, which is NAM US, was only willing to log 116 of those girls or those women as missing individuals. Think about that.
Wow.
5,712 women who have been reported by loved ones, but the National Missing Database was only willing to log 116. Why? And that's the big question. Why? Like Jasmine was saying a minute ago, why isn't it when a family member says that they have a clue or they have someone that might possibly have information, these individuals are not being followed up with, they're not being interviewed, they're not being questioned, and like I was sharing, I think with Jacky the other day, and I was saying, how many times have we heard stories where something horrific like this has happened in a family member's life, and 5, 10, 15 years later, somebody steps forward and says, I really do know something. But 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was too afraid to come forth and say anything for whatever the reason was. But nobody's willing to go back and sit down and re-interview these individuals. And I just think that something needs to be done about it.
I want to read a couple of the comments really quick, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, because Dad has been waiting a while.
We have Dennis said, I'm guessing that trafficking doesn't get the press it deserves. It is because the masterminds behind this scheme are our representatives and politicians, as they did with trafficking arms, years ago. In their minds, if it don't make money, it don't make sense. It ain't a crime till you get caught. Some of the people we vote for are masterminding these things. As an ex-military officer, we were always told in deployment, when you're behind enemy lines, act like it, approach everyone. But the butt got cut off. I was like, but tell me more.
You were into that.
But yeah, it's unfortunate because I even picked up the phone to call excuse me, the detective that is handling Jacky's case, and yet have we received a phone call back. We're going to keep calling and we're going to keep doing what it is that we need to do. But I think the scariest part to me is that, for example, Jacqueline, they sent her these still shots of Jacky standing in a smoke shop. And even that is just like, that's not enough to make you want to look for our young girls. Like, that is so scary to me, to see a still shot and see your loved one standing there, and you say to the mother, well, until she if she makes contact, she makes contact. But basically, in other words, she doesn't look like she's endangered. She doesn't look like she's in fear of her life. If she has a phone in her hand, and if she wants, she can call her family. That does not mean that a person is not endangered. That does not mean that. How many times do you watch movies where, the matter of fact, not even a movie. There was a situation where there was a home invasion with the family, and it was 3 or 4 people that came in and held this family hostage. They put the husband in the car and drove the husband to the bank and told the husband, you better not tell anybody. You better not act like you're scared. You better not even give a thought that you were in fear of your life, or the person that's at the house is going to kill your family. you don't know what somebody could be telling this young lady. And I guess the bigger issue is there was nothing that led up to her disappearing that would have made anybody believe that she just wanted to just not speak to her family anymore.
Right.
And that should be enough, you know.
And
And go ahead,
that's
Tanya.
the reason why we've been doing what we've been doing for so long, is because not enough awareness is being brought to these cases. And if they are brought up, let's say on the news or anything, and I said it, I believe last week, they're not being talked about for a long period of time. After
Right.
so long, those cases are forgotten about.
Yeah. You got to stay on top of them. I know that's what, when Nikki first came up missing 21 years ago, it was, if we didn't call down there every day and we didn't pass out the flyers every day and call the news media every day, then we wasn't getting nowhere. But we had to stay on top of it.
It's like, okay, make this statistic make sense for me. So it says that Black women and girls comprise more than 30% of the women and girls reported missing in the United States. Yet Black and women girls only constitute 15% of the U.S. female population.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's something wrong with this, like on a very deep and scary level. And as Dennis, our guest, said, you know, our government is behind this. They have a lot to do with it. And that's why I tell people all the time, on our local basis, we always get wrapped up, and I'm not trying to go political, but everybody wants to talk about what the president of the United States is and isn't doing. But until people can get in their mind and understand,
right,
this country is ran by your local government, your senators, your governors. Those are who makes bills, pass laws, all of that. It's not the president. And until we can get that in our mind and we start getting up, getting dressed, not calling on the phone, but going down to these people's offices, knocking on their doors, because guess what? We pay their salary. If it weren't for us, they wouldn't get paid. So guess what? You need to start doing what you're getting paid to do for us. And then we need to start taking more precautions in who we choose to elect to represent us on our state and city levels. We really do. We need, I know a lot of us have a tendency, well, I'm Democrat, so when I go to vote, I'm just going to go down the line and vote for everybody.
Right.
Well, let me tell you what, just as many Republicans that are against you, there's just as many Democrats that's in the office doing the same thing. And until we can mentally begin to process that and understand this, nothing changes if nothing changes.
I mean, I think I have.
My daughter's getting attention now because I've had to push every day. Like you said, they get thrown under the rug. And so with me keeping her face out there, I want to be where I'm at. You know, it's like, no, I am not going to give up on my daughter. She's out there somewhere, you know, and it's like I'm keeping her face out there. And now, because I have been doing so much nonstop, her face is everywhere now. It's like everyone's knowing about this case now because it's reaching so many people. And it does take it should be this way. It's taken me so much work to get where I'm at right now. And it's just because I have to keep going because I'm not going to give up on her knowing that something's not right, you know, because I find out a few years later she's dead when all this time we could have done something now, you know, to get her out before something really, I don't know. I mean, there's too many scenarios, you know, she's being trafficked, she's dead, I don't know, you know, and
that's the hardest part is not knowing. Not knowing it. I mean, for 21 years, I haven't known where my sister is. And that's been one of the hardest part out of all of this. So I understand exactly how you're feeling. The
Yeah.
tears I hear coming down your face and in your voice, I heard every day with my mom. So it's very emotional just sitting here listening to you, because I just want to give you a hug because I understand where you're at.
That's what I'm feeling right now, is because I'm in Arizona on my own, and my family, all them are, I have a daughter in Nevada, a daughter in Washington, and then of course I grew up from California. So it's like, when you're in this isolation, it's very hard because I'm sick, and because the pandemic kind of left me isolated right now, and it's like, I have to do my crying, and then I get back to what I need to do. It's like this roller coaster, and I'm numb because I'm still grieving for my husband at times, and thinking, my God, if he was alive, he would be absolutely devastated, because that was Daddy's little girl. And I go back and look at pictures of the two of them, because he raised her since she was 5 years old, and he would just be absolutely devastated. In a way, I think God, he's not seeing any of this, because it would be devastating for him.
Yeah.
But see, again, as I'm sitting here listening to you all's pain, I'm also educating myself. And I'm sitting here looking where it says one of the biggest problems, it's within our own communities, because we're not. It's within our own communities. So sometimes we have to say, while we're pointing our finger at somebody, we have to take a look at the finger that's pointing back at us,
Yeah.
because we do, as a people, we have a real bad habit. Something hits the news, breaking news, and everybody's gung-ho, like I shared it last week or week before last. We jump up, we make our signs, we go out, we get our t-shirts printed, we're out marching and thumping and doing the do. And then 3-4 days later, everything goes silent, and people fail to realize that those family members, they're still crying, they're still suffering, they're still searching, they still have unanswered questions. And then everybody just kind of fades away and leaves them there to try to figure this thing out on their own. And then you have people like, which I think is very unfortunate, people like Jacqueline, Jacky, as well as Michelle, whose families, they go forth. So then what is their next approach? Well, maybe if I hire a private investigator, they'll be willing to help me. But then what does the private investigator want? If you don't have thousands of dollars to present to them,
Right.
to give them, then it's a done data. And something, again, as I said, has got to change. We can't keep saying, we can't keep crying wolf and not being able to do anything to stop the wolf from crying. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like we talk a good game, but now we got to walk a good game, because actions do truly always speak louder than words.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that the Doc Ellis Foundation is here. Like Jasmine reiterates all the time, we're not here. We are a nonprofit organization. We're not here to try to make money off of families and their loved ones. We are here because we have a heart and a passion.
Right.
And we truly, truly want to play a part in bringing these young girls and these young women back home to their families and to their loved ones. But they say that, maybe the change is going to start with us.
It
Yeah,
has
it
to.
definitely has to. It has
I
to.
mean, it has
Well,
to.
I'm going to say something on that too. Like, how do I have thousands of dollars to go find my daughter? This is why so many are getting thrown under the rug. And it's like, rest her soul. I'm not, the other thing I'm condoning is why 96 authorities looking for a girl, and you know who I'm not going to mention names, but you know who I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
But yet when it comes to the black, I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm white. She's biracial.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like, it just kills me that we treat them this way. And it angers me because I'm disabled. I'm on Social Security. I don't have that kind of money. I don't have thousands of with
Yeah.
big taxes and everything, but no, it's not happening. And it's like a fight and a fight and a fight, you know, and it's like, are you kidding me? Why, as a parent, do I have to keep fighting to say there's something wrong? I don't give a damn. She's 30 years old and an adult. All I want is to know where she's safe. That is all. I have never told her what she could do in her life. That's on her, you know. But she called me, check in. She always talked to her sisters. We grew up very close. I spent the first 5 years of her life as a single mom. She was with me 24/7. I was out delivering newspapers, and then I was, you know, I was her rock. You know, I was, you know, one of her friends who said I was, you know, the mama chaperone. I'm on field trips all the time. I mean, I was very heavily into her life. You know, so all this, you know, it's craziness, and it's just, and it's like so many of these black women get ignored is because they can't afford a private detective. You know, I mean, investigator. I mean, it's just, it's crazy.
Well, that's why we're here.
Yeah, we also have to hold more of our own people accountable for going out and, you know, people that are witnessing these crimes and not speaking up and saying anything. They need to step up as well. If anyone knows anything about any of the cases that we're speaking about, please call in. You can call us. You can make an anonymous phone call into the sheriff's or police station. Please say something. Any little tip can bring these missing persons home.
You know, and I just want to say, it is some nights that I promise you, I feel like maybe I've only got like 2-3 hours of sleep. Because when I sit on calls like this and I hear people like Michelle and Jacqueline, I almost feel guilty going to
Yeah.
sleep. Like, I almost feel like I got to keep looking. I got to keep digging. I got to keep looking. I got to keep researching. I got to keep reaching out. I got to keep emailing. I got to keep texting, because while I'm sleep comfortable in my bed, I have no idea where your loved one is.
Yeah.
You know, like, they just had a little Hispanic girl, and I think I brought it up last week, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but she was missing for a whole year, and they finally found her, and she was a mile away from where her dad lived.
Wow.
Stop thinking that people have to be held in basements. Stop thinking that people have to have this sheet over their head and they're thrown in a white van. Stop thinking that that's not the way that looks. Like, you know how many times you could be in a fast food restaurant sitting down at the table and the young lady next to you is being sex trafficked?
Yeah.
And she hasn't seen her family.
You know,
And
you see my daughter's face out there everywhere. So why hasn't anybody recognized her? That tells you something's very wrong. I mean, I've been plastering and plastering and plastering.
yeah.
It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up.
Yeah.
You know, I've been doing my videos nonstop, and you know, and now that I've got the support with you guys, you know, I'm kind of taking a breather, like you said, like you guys, you know, because my insanity is like, how long do I keep going and going, you know? And so I know I have to take care of my mental health, because my mental health is really starting to suffer over this.
Yeah.
Because I've been, you know, you see, I've been doing nonstop videos all up until I met you guys, and it's just, it's taken a toll. I mean, my mental health is really suffering a little bit over this, but it's just something is definitely wrong when you have her bed plastered. Plus, you've had, you know, people in Florida have been awesome, you know, but the problem is we don't know if she's even in Florida still. Who knows?
Right.
But the thing is, they've been putting up posters, you know, in places, but it may not be the right place. But still, even with that, nobody's seen her. It's crazy. Nobody, like you said, nobody just vanishes without somebody seeing it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, you know, and I've already, in fact, I just finished catching up on all of them to put your poster in. But I mean, over 200 groups. And I mean, it's like I am plastering all the time to keep her face out there because I don't want my daughter thrown under the rug. I don't want her to be ignored because I know what happens if she gets ignored because I'm not pushing. Oh, she's another black kid, and we're going to throw her under the rug. Forget it, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not standing by to do that.
Yeah.
I refuse until I have my answers.
Yeah.
Because as a mother, I know darn well this is not normal. Something is way, way off. I mean, she's got, you know, I'm getting calls from collection agencies. So her bills aren't getting paid. So, yeah, something's paid off.
And just so those of you guys that are just tuning in, we are speaking with Jacqueline Reyes. Her daughter, Jacky Reyes, has been missing since June. There has been one spotting of her that was about 2 weeks after she was reported missing in a smoke shop in Florida. Unfortunately, law enforcement will not reveal the location of the smoke shop to her family or her mother. So that is a mystery to all. Jacky was seen on surveillance. And because she had a phone in her hand, she did not look like she was in danger. Law enforcement is basically telling mom that she does not fit the requirements for this to be something that should be splattered all over the media. They're basically saying that they would like to respect Jacky's privacy, but they will keep the case open until they make contact with her. I also read some of the information that you sent over where law enforcement also advised that that because she's an adult, she did not fit the her case did not fit the requirements for them to issue a subpoena to track her phone. Well, look how screwed up that is.
The criteria for it to go nationwide on the media.
Well, I don't want to say names. Like, let's not say names.
Yeah.
And let's not say names. But what fit the requirement for them?
Right.
What was so different with their situation? You know what? No, what the requirement that we don't fit is the fact that we are not that color. That's the requirement that we don't fit. That's the reality.
As Dennis said, we don't fit the requirement because that's how the government has always looked at us. We are of no importance. We are absolutely of no importance, and especially Black women, African American women.
Well, and it's like Tanya said, at some point, you know, we have to hold our communities accountable too. Because I don't see enough passion and enough dedication from our own communities when it comes to missing persons. I'm not going to say a name again, but I just watched a documentary where there were hundreds of TikTokers that took to that case, hundreds of them. And they were literally like re-sketching the video over and over again and how impactful this was and, you know, how devastating and how much, you know, how much I just needed to know. And half the people that they interviewed in that documentary outside of her family were YouTubers and TikTokers. Yeah. And, you know, and so we're to blame too, because we're not seeing these missing faces run across our screen and caring enough to make it go viral.
Right.
But we'll make a fight go viral that's in the projects, and we'll make you know a girl getting slapped or toxic hashtag relationship go viral on TikTok. But we don't make the situations that matter in our communities go viral. We pass it by like it's nothing.
We'll make the videos of the mother on TikTok and YouTube disciplining her child in front of 5 million people go viral. But like Jazz again said, but something like this, I mean, we're watching it all of us on this panel tonight, especially Tanya, myself, and Jasmine. We're watching it every day. We're constantly
Every
posting
day.
on our pages all day. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. And I can go to my page and I have literally over 4,000 and some odd people on my friends list. They will bypass all of those videos, not share, not like, not comment, but find something, a video or not a video, but a post of a selfie that I put up 2 years ago, and 950 people are like on it.
Well,
And it's like, what is wrong with us?
It's, more than that, and I'm not trying to take this left, but I do have to speak on this because it was really bothering me, and we're probably going to go over hours. So I'm sorry, ladies. Sorry, everybody tuning in. Y'all can click off now. Y'all can click off now if y'all tired of hearing us rant. But let me tell you, let me bring up something. I am not a big, first of all, I've never liked Kanye. Let me just put that out there. Don't listen to his music. I've never been one. I'm not going to buy a CD. I don't know nothing about no Yeezys. All the clothes look like hobo clothes to me. Would never buy it. And I don't even have that type of money to purchase. And if I had that type of money to purchase it, I still wouldn't buy it. However, I'm so mad at our own community. For example, Black Lives Matter, and the conversation came up where it kind of spun from him with the White Lives Matter shirts into the whole Black Lives Matter thing. And then all of a sudden it was the conversation about Black Lives Matter. The organization allegedly took millions and millions of dollars and went and purchased multiple homes and whatever the case may be. So then when I went to YouTube and I was like, okay, well, let me put in, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't care about what kind of misappropriated funds they have going on. Whenever I hope I don't get in trouble for this, and I'm sorry, Black Lives Matter, but whenever I went and got a shirt, I actually got the shirt made. I did not go in a store and buy it, because I feel like we all own Black Lives Matter. If you're Black, we all own Black Lives Matter. I wasn't looking at it like a nonprofit organization. I was looking at it like, you're right, Black Lives Matter, right? Okay, so I didn't worry about or get into the whole misappropriated fund thing. However, today when I pulled it up and I was looking at it, everybody bashing Black Lives Matter is Black.
Yes.
Like we are always tearing our own selves down. We are always flipping the script. Like we can't never have nothing that's solid and we just be like, yes, this is us, Black Lives Matter. It went from Black Lives Matter. It was a good thing for a short period of time. And now it's our own people putting out videos, bashing and talking bad about an organization that is for the people. And this is why don't nobody take us serious. This is why we can't never have a strong movement that just stays consistent and we really get change, because we don't have to have them work against us. We work against ourselves. We don't have to have them bash the organizations and find a way to shut them down. And even today, my fiance was like, they've been doing this since Martin Luther King days. They've been doing this since Malcolm X days. They have always found one of our own to be the one to bring us down. And we still ain't figured that out. And then we wonder why we can't bring our missing girls home. We wonder why we can't get the police to get their knee off our neck. Well, because we have turned everything that was of importance into a joke. And they're sitting back and they're going, we don't have to tear them down. Don't worry about it. They're going to tear themselves down. Just give them a minute. Give them a couple of more months, and this, they'll be done. They'll find some secret on one of them, because that's what they do. We have no kind of unification. None. We can't never take nothing serious. And I'm not trying to bash my people. Look, I'm slinging microphones. That's how mad I am right now. But this is why they don't take us serious. This is why Kanye coming out with a White Lives Matter shirt is dangerous. Yeah.
But he doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. You are dangerous. And people are like, oh, well, for him to come out with that shirt, then that means, that he has disrespected George Floyd's family. No. He has disrespected every Black every black, brown, melanin person who was killed by law enforcement. He has disrespected every black, brown, melanin girl that is missing right now. Every
Yes.
black, brown, melanin child who has been killed or who has been assaulted in school. You just don't care. And then guess what? Now, guess what's trending? Everybody on TikTok, oh, screw Yeezy. We about to burn these shoes and we about to. Y'all didn't know he didn't care a long time ago?
Right.
Well, I'm not gonna say my age, but I'm a 60s baby, okay, everybody? And my mother used to tell myself and my siblings and I, number one, black folk, and this is how she used to say it. She said, baby, let me tell you all something. Black folk, we are our biggest nightmare. We are our worst enemy. My mom said that up until 1988, when the good Lord took her out of here. The other thing that is our people's problem is that money, the greed for money, is the root to everything evil that we do. And like as Jasmine would say, not saying no names, but I'm gonna say the name. White society has always known that that was the way that they could grab us, get us, and make us do anything they wanted us to do, was by the greed for money. It's just a fact, you know, and I just wish more of our people would understand this. And as Zed said, look at what happened to the Black Panther Party and how it was destroyed from within. I grew up in the Black Panther era, and he is so correct.
My aunts were in the Black Panther.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know when that organization first set up, they are who started the free lunch programs. They started the free medical within our communities. And because it was doing so good, that person to the left decided this is going too good for them. It's too positive. You know, they're drawing in too many people. We have to find a way to destroy them. So then what do? They take us and they pit us against one another.
Yeah.
And then we destroy our own organizations from within. Or so it makes it look as though it's being pulled apart from within, because nobody's taking the time to sit down and realize that the government planted those seeds in there for a purpose.
Yes,
but
ma'am.
we always get driven by the money.
Yeah. Yeah. That is that I know, right? Who just kind of went like me, like
I did.
I'm woke. I'm woke. Y'all need to wake up. I'm woke. No. We still sleep. Like we're not.
There's so many that are still asleep.
Yeah.
Well,
so
read what Dennis just said. He said, knock on doors, knock down doors, keep them in. If the preps don't get exposed, if the peeps don't get exposed, the missing won't get exposed. You know, and then he goes on to say, thank you, ladies, so much for allowing me to chime in. But we want to thank you for chiming in and being interested in what we do have to share. Like I tell the ladies all the time, if we don't pull in but 2, 3, 4, 5 people on Friday nights on this channel, with the message is getting out there, you know, and that's what's important. Somebody is willing to listen and hear what we have to say. And just like you all are willing to listen to us, we want you here because we want your feedback. We want your ideas.
We have
these different topics.
And in fact, Dennis, one day soon, we hope to have men on the channel so they can give their opinions on any of the things that we're speaking about.
Yes, we do.
And just to go back a little bit, for those of you tuning in, just to give you guys a little synopsis of what we have been doing with ourselves. Fact Check TV originally started 6 years ago.
No.
2017.
Almost.
We started Fact Check TV in 2017. Shortly after that, we decided to give the channel a break. We took all of our energy and put it into starting a nonprofit organization in the honor of Doc Ellis. Doc Ellis was a African-American pitcher for the Pirates, Mets, Oakland A's, and the Texas Rangers. And my father, I was getting there.
Thank you.
And your husband.
You the part in there, young lady. I mean,
And your husband. And your husband. He was my father. He was a huge advocate, and Desiree's uncle, because she'll key in too, because I see her in the chat. Desiree is not on the panel with us tonight because it's her birthday. So please make sure you throw your hearts and your likes and subscribe, because she's out partying for her birthday and she gets no
Happy
more
birthday.
PTO.
Happy birthday.
However, he was a huge advocate for the African American players and community himself. We started the nonprofit organization dedicated to missing minority women and children and victims of sex trafficking. We do have a crisis hotline that you can call if you need assistance. Again, I can throw that number up for you. The number is 1-800-370-0830. You can also go to the website at DocEllisFoundation.com. And fill out a missing persons report, or get help now if it's for you. Jacqueline, I wanted to say, I'm not sure if she's still here, but Jacqueline, I wanted to say, she's like, I'm here. I wanted to say thank you so much for trusting us with your daughter's case. We are going to do everything that we possibly can to help bring her home, or to help find information that may lead to where she's at. It's not easy.
Michelle.
Same thing with Michelle. I know it's not easy, and just listening to two people connect, it's sad that we have that is the common denominator, is that their loved one is missing. They have not been able to get help. They have had to kick down doors, knock down doors, just to be able to get their loved ones' faces out there, and it's even scarier that we're speaking to somebody whose child has been missing for a few months, and we have a woman whose sister has been missing for years.
Yeah.
Like, that means that we have not seen any progress in the way they deal with cases of minority men, women, and children for over 20 years. It has been the same way. It is not getting any better. And I know that the Doc Ellis Foundation would not exist if we did not have women and children who were experiencing this. And I hope one day we can get there where we have to completely change the mission because everybody is brought home. But it's also sad that families have to rely on organizations like ours when you have individuals who are making pretty hefty salaries to investigate these matters, and none of what law enforcement is telling either one of you guys makes any sense at all. I'm not tooting our horn, by no means necessary, but I feel like in less than a week, we have found out more about the case than law enforcement has given her in regards to her own child's case. And, I just want to say again to both of you, thank you guys both for, sharing.
Trusting us.
And I think you guys too, because I tell you, it's been a long fight to finally get some help. And, but it's all because I'm too well known out there now. I mean, if you look up her name, even on, can't even think, the internet. You just pull her name up, she's everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
But it's also because of my long fight that I've had to do, and it's been a long fight. And, everybody has been so kind to me and so loving. I mean, I probably get less than 0.5% of some weird comments, but I delete them. But I've had so much love from everybody, and it just takes time till I got to the right. I knew God would eventually I would get connected, because I wasn't going to give up my fight. for my daughter. I was just going to keep going until
We're not going to let you give up.
It's like, I'm on disability, Social Security. So that kind of tells you, I don't have thousands of dollars to go find my daughter. I wish I did, but I don't.
Well,
I want her found.
Well, Jackie, I just came up with a good idea. Maybe something else we can fight for. Maybe we need to start writing letters to these legislators and these congressmen and women that act like a bunch of bullies and children. Maybe we should write letters to them and ask them, while you all have all these different funds where you're giving money to all these different people, why don't you have a fund in the government that is specifically set aside for families to help families hire the necessary people they need to help try and locate or find their loved one? You see what I'm saying? The government is real quick to want to take our tax dollars and give it away to who they want to give it away to. Maybe we should start dictating to them who they need to be giving it to.
And what was kind of strange too, I know so many people have been out there trying to reach out because they don't like what's happening. And someone, you think about it, it's happened in Boynton Beach, and you got the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Department handling it. Well, when someone called the Boynton Beach, they didn't want anything to do with it. They said they had it called Palm Beach. And I'm like, see, I don't know anything about Florida, but I'm like, I said, now you see my battle.
Yeah.
It's like, can't get, it's crazy.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy how the law enforcement over there works. I just don't get it. I mean, if it happened at Boynton Beach, then Palm Beach, so you're telling me you guys don't work together? I don't understand that.
I think it's just the truth about it is that it's very harsh to say, but because not all of them, there are some good detectives that I've seen that handle cases, and I'm not saying that there is this big meeting that they're having to go if they're black, brown, don't care. But the masses is that the way they're handling the cases show that they don't care. And they show that the black, brown, melanin life does not matter. Because they cannot keep using the way lifestyles are lived or the way somebody portrays themselves or the lifestyle that they choose to live. You can't keep using that. Like, you can't keep using because of the way an individual chose to live their life, or because they were addicted to drugs, or because maybe they just don't want to be bothered because there was a family argument. It doesn't work anymore. And we can sit here and talk all day long about why they don't care, but what we need to try to figure out is a solution on how do we get our own people to care. And
it's scared of me because I keep putting her face out there, and it's like, because they don't communicate with me. They don't say nothing. And so it's like, it makes me feel like, okay, are you guys so scared of me because I push you so darn hard? I think that, because I am. I want answers. I don't want you guys throwing my daughter in the bus.
Well, I think it's almost to the lines where they feel like, let them do their own investigation. Let them put it on the internet and let's see if they get any, I'm going to tell you how I look at it. I feel like they understand now that there are organizations like ours. There are a lot of people that I will say have become missing person advocates. Like, you can go on the internet and it is 1,001 missing person groups. And just because we have 501c3 attached to our name doesn't mean that there are not individuals that are out there. There are crime podcasters. There's YouTubers who are doing the same thing. There are average people who are sitting in their homes who are taking it upon themselves to go down the list and look for people that are missing. And it almost feels to the point to where when it comes to minorities, law enforcement is going, let them do the work and wait for them to bring us something to look into. You see what I'm saying? Where on the opposite hand, when they are not a minority and they are Caucasian, they're putting in the manpower and the money to look for those children and those women and those men. They are putting in the energy and the time, and they're investing all of the tools and the resources they have available to them. But when it comes down to minorities, it's like, let them do the job. And then when they call us and they give us a tip, then maybe we'll look into it. Or, or if we think the tip is good enough, well, who are you? If you have not even been focusing on my loved one, who are you to say what is and is not important? If you're not spending the time with me to talk about my missing loved one, then how do you know that the patterns or the behaviors that they're portraying are normal behaviors? How?
Right.
I've done for a lot of YouTubes already. Why aren't you listening to what I'm saying as a mother? You're just going to keep ignoring me? I'm shouting out to the rooftop, my daughter, there's something very wrong. And, I've done enough to scream and scream, help anybody, I mean, that's just, I'm not a mother to shut up. I'm shouting out for my daughter.
Absolutely.
Continue to shout out, and we're going to continue to shout out with you and stand with you all with helping your families.
Absolutely. So I just want to say, Jacqueline, we are going to continue doing everything that we can to try to bring home Jacky. For those of you guys that are watching right now, Jacky is the individual that you guys are seeing on the screen. If you have any information or you believe that you may have possibly seen her, even if you've had any type of communication with her prior to her missing, please give us a call at 1-800-370-0830. Because we would love to hear the information. Keep sharing her face. Keep spreading the love. I also, oh man, I don't have it.
Because I'm doing all the posting. I'm getting her face out in the group, but like you said, even you see the picture, but you got to share. You got to share and share and share, because that's the only way it's going to keep hitting more and more people. Is to continue sharing. I mean, any loved one, you can't just say, "Oh, another person." You got to share and share and share, or it just, that's the whole deal. And I mean, I am very fortunate, as you've seen my TikTok, and I've never been on so much platforms like it's been, and so many people. I mean, it's like I'm getting so many views and everything, and people are sharing. I mean, I came across one of the Facebook. One of my pictures had over 700 shares.
Awesome.
And that's the key thing. You just got to keep sharing, and spread, because I'm doing everything on my part to get the word out, but I need help. You guys keep sharing, because that eventually something's got to break. Because,
absolutely.
It's gotten to where, I've done so much to this point, that how much more can I do? I mean, I feel like, okay, I've screamed and screamed. Now what? It's just, I know all I can do is keep putting her face out there, but also take those mental breaks, because I'm telling you, 4 months straight of nonstop does take a mental toll on you.
Absolutely.
And, I realize to you, like, everyone is just concerned about me because I've had days that didn't look good. And,
right.
So I've got to take some mental time right now because, and it has to be careful, because if you don't know what multiple sclerosis is, it's a very serious illness.
Right.
And it's done a lot of damage to me.
Absolutely.
And so it's like, I got to take a time out right now and just keep the face out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Jackie. We are going to make sure for those that are tuning in that are interested in keeping up with the Jacqueline Reyes case, please tune in every so often because we will definitely bring you updates that we feel are pertinent for the community to know. Like Jacqueline said, please make sure you share, like, and subscribe. The most important part is to like and subscribe, because if you like and subscribe, then you'll get notifications so that you're aware of what's going on.
And thank you guys for everything.
Thank
guys
you.
have done a
You're
good
Thank you,
welcome.
Jackie. I was just gonna say,
I feel like
and
I've got a little peace now
Aw.
that I'm getting the help I need because I didn't have that. You know, I had all the love and support, but I didn't have that one piece that I still needed. You know,
Right.
And now, so things are gonna start working. You know, more out. You know that things will be able to find out more details and just little things. You know, and so it's just I'm having to just take the back seat, but someone else handle it, you know, that will get some answers.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, honey. Now, I'm going to tell you, like I told you the other day, let your peace, let your mind rest a little bit. We got you back.
Yes, yes.
And I was just going to say, for all of you that have joined us this evening, when you get the opportunity, you have a free minute, I'm asking that you go over to www.docellisfoundation.com. Take some time and read through our website to see exactly who we are, what we are, and what we are trying to do and give back in our communities all over the world. And also share with your friends and family members. And we can always use a donation because all $1 add up to some dollars.
And so
Yes.
Some dollars could make a difference.
And for those of you guys who are interested in understanding exactly what that donation or what your donations do, or your volunteer time, we're actually taking volunteers.
Volunteer time.
If you are interested in volunteering, you can also go to the Doc Ellis Foundation and sign up to volunteer. We will contact you back to discuss with you the different roles that are available. But for those of you guys who are tuning in again, please make sure you go to Doc Ellis Foundation. For some of the things that we do case evaluations for missing persons. We do have a sex trafficking investigator specialist on our team. We interview friends and family. We communicate with law enforcement. We help navigate the legal system. We bring awareness to your child, to your loved one's case. We cover costs for missing person flyers. We alert the media. We conduct searches, and we advocate for your loved one. And that's just a little bit of what the Doc Ellis Foundation does. Again, if you have know anybody who is experiencing a situation like the two beautiful ladies who are on this panel, please make sure that you let them know that Doc Ellis Foundation is here to assist, and we are not asking those families for a dime.
And we are on all platforms.
Absolutely.
Check us out on all platforms. You can send us a message on those platforms as well.
Chloe just tuned in and said your title is correct. The Indigenous are ignored, and you are absolutely 100% correct, Chloe. I just, every time it's time for us to end the show, I feel like we can't talk enough about those that are missing. We can't remind everybody who's tuned in enough about those that are missing. Again, I want to take a moment to share with you guys the individuals that we would like to showcase this week that are missing. If you're interested in knowing more about their situations, please make sure you go to the National Missing Children's website and you can review the story on why they're missing. But we do want to make sure that if you see something, say something. If you don't feel comfortable contacting law enforcement and you don't want law enforcement involved, please contact the Doc Ellis Foundation or any other missing persons organization to report that you have seen something. But to not say something is not going to work. There are too many beautiful women and children and men who are missing, and we need to bring them home. So with that being said, it is time for us to wrap it up. Our cup of coffee is gone.
Empty.
Our cup of coffee is gone. Please tune in next week. Again, like, share, subscribe. Cannot say it enough. Share it on Twitter. It's on Twitter. You share it on LinkedIn. We're on LinkedIn. You can share it on Facebook. We're live on Facebook as well as live on YouTube. Share, 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 share. Next week, we will be going and diving deep into how to report your loved one missing, the steps that you should take, the necessary documentation that you should start collecting the moment you believe that your loved one is missing. So we will dive in. If there's anybody that you know who is experiencing a situation where their loved one is missing, please make sure that you have them reach out to us at info. Let me say that right. Reach out to us at info@ellisfoundation.com, because I was going to say it all together.
Man. You had a brain freeze, girl.
Don't forget to give us a thumbs up.
Yes, please give us a thumbs up, guys. And as Chloe said, your silence is your acceptance. If you keep silent, you are accepting what is taking place. And you never know when one of your loved ones just might be next.
Because that is like a whole nother topic that I don't even want to go, because I'm going to say, people don't push it enough and don't care enough because you think you're exempt.
Yes.
Also, before we end our show, I would really like to just take like a 2-second moment of silence for that family that was kidnapped and murdered just last week, because that is the prime example right there that people are not exempt. Yeah. People are crazy, and people are crazy, and it's scary. One individual kidnapped an entire family. Nobody is safe. Nobody is exempt. So please make sure you like and subscribe and tune in every week to get a little bit more knowledge on the process, the protocols, what you should do, how we can help. You don't have to just depend on us and rely on us, but find a nonprofit organization who does what we do and allow them to help you maneuver through the system so that you can bring your loved one home. We're going to talk about victims of crime, how you can apply for victims of crime. How does that benefit you? We can assist you with filling out those applications. We will discuss the resources that we have available and all of the great things that the Doc Ellis Foundation is getting ready to do. To shake our people up.
Also, before we go off the air, I would also like to say to all our viewers tonight, if you ever think of something or you have an idea or a topic that you would like for us to cover, please feel free to go to the website, submit your email, as Jasmine said, to info@docellis.com, and we will be more than happy, to take a look at your topic, and most likely your topic will end up on the air.
Yep, that's correct.
Very true.
Desiree Corbin said she'll be back next week. She loves you guys. She loves us. We love her. Matter of fact, let's wrap this up with a happy birthday. Y'all ready to sing? Which one y'all want to do, the regular one or ours? Let's do ours.
You know which one I do.
Let's do ours. Y'all ready? Go.
Ready.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. We still.
Okay.
So happy birthday, Desiree.
We can't sing, but we can song.
Happy birthday, Desiree. And with that, we will see you guys all again next week.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.